Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. So this is Priyanka Thakur and basically I'm here to answer a few questions that I got on Instagram. I have been getting on Instagram. Ignore the background noises, okay? I don't get time to record video and I'm recording this when things are happening around the house, okay? So I get this question very often on Instagram, and people ask me about my journey, about my spiritual journey. So I'll give you a brief thing on what happened, how it happened, and what exactly happened. So basically, I am a chartered accountant by profession, and I had a very nice career. I used to work with corporates. Things were going good. Obviously, bits and bits here and there, you have issues in your work and your things, but apart from that, everything was fine. Good family, a nice kid. Obviously, I lost people in my life whom I really loved, but I think everyone's life has those ups and downs, and somewhere over the period of time we all learn to live with it. Okay, I am very fidgety. Okay, anyway, so we all learn to live with it now. I used to go on these fancy vacations, had like people around me, friends around me, and okay, everything was nice. But then I realized that I am not whole inside. Till the time I'm surrounded by people, or I'm going out, I'm doing my work. Basically, till the time my mind is at something, I'm okay. But when I'm not, when I'm all by myself, there's something. I even used to get anxiety at times. Many a times we just, don't give it a lot of heed, thinking that it's common and all that stuff. But I used to. And that is when I started watching a lot of reels on meditations. I don't know what, but YouTube and Insta and all have their ways. They actually find out what's happening in your life more than people really close to you can find out. So I basically got, started seeing a lot of shorts and reels about meditations and Reiki and stuff. So there is where I started a Reiki class, a Reiki session. Okay, I had no intent of coming online, preaching online. In fact, I was very camera shy. I still am. I never had this, because obviously I was doing well in my career. Why would I even think of all this? But then I learned Reiki. It really helped me. Like, I started feeling a lot calmer, a lot better, and that vacuum thing, that anxiety thing also, I would not say completely got cleared off, but I was at a very nice space. Things were good. Then I learned a lot of other healing modalities, because things follow, right? So I learned Lama Fera, I learned angelic healing, lots. In fact, then occult came in life. I learned tarot, I learned astrology, numerology, you name it. And that time all that was not famous also when I learned it. Right now today, like, many people know about it. When I learned it, not many people did that. And I used to enjoy it thoroughly. Then I got this calling of teaching people online and, taking classes online. And I started doing that also. Like, 5-6 years back, Atmik was introduced by me, and I started taking classes also online, and I got very good results. People used to be happy and people used to feel healed, and things were going nice. I had no other thing left in life. I was balancing my work, my family, my spirituality, everything was going nice. Then one of my students, he gave me a crystal shivling, okay, a very small spatik shivling, I think this small. And I was very fond of crystals that time. So what I did was, where I kept all my other crystals, I kept that spatik shivling also very respectfully with them. Okay, for few days it was there. I used to clean and everything every morning like I did to my other crystals. One night I got a dream about the same shivling, and it was like something telling me that, why am I there? I'm not meant to be there. You need to give a do jalabhishek or something like that. The dream was, I don't very clearly remember right now. Morning I called up my mom and I told her all this. So she told me that, oh, it's a shivling, obviously do your puja. Not do your puja. I had no idea how to do puja. See, I was not that I didn't believe in God. I did. I used to go to temples on my birthday. I used to go temples when I wanted to ask something for. That's it. I used to even go to, havans and all, but that is just, going and giving your attendance, nothing more than that. So I just, placed that shivling in a copper dish that I had, and I just started doing jalabhishek every day. I didn't know any mantras, anything back then. I didn't even knew that the shivling needs to, the pran pratishtha needs to be there. Even if it is a jal shivling, you need to do the pran pratishtha. There's a lot of things in this. Don't call me out on that. We'll discuss that later, some other video. Okay, but I just started, and it was with complete I wouldn't say I was very devoted also that time, but I used to do it. Okay, only Om Namah Shivaya is the mantra that I knew. I used to do Om Namah Shivaya and do the jalabhishek. Later, after few days, then I started lighting a diya. Things got introduced. Lighting a diya, placing a flower. Things kept introducing themselves. Then I started doing my meditations in front of the shivling, and then I realized, oh, my meditation is getting deeper when I do it in front of the shivling. So that added on, and I did this for almost a year. While doing this, I started listening to a lot of shloks online, like Kal Bhairavashkatam, this thing, what do you say, Shiv Tandav, lot of this, but it was only listening on YouTube, and I used to do that. A year or so passed by, just doing what I was doing, and one night I was alone at home. There was no one, and I was very scared of being alone at night. I couldn't sleep at night alone. Again, those issues of being left alone and all that stuff. So I had this very weird habit that whenever I used to be alone at home, I used to watch Crime Patrol till the morning, okay, on YouTube. And like when it was like 3 or 4, and when I knew that people around me are waking up, that is the time I used to sleep. So I was watching Crime Patrol as usual, and out of nowhere a video of Adi Kailash pops in. I had no clue that there are 5 Kailashes back then. Okay, all I knew, there is Kailash Mansarovar, and that there is where Mahadev resides. That's it. Adi Kailash video comes in, I watch that entire video. After that, I watch all the possible videos of Adi Kailash on YouTube. I Google stuff about Adi Kailash. Matlab, in that span of like 3-4 hours, I was well versed with what Adi Kailash is, how do you go. I even searched for tour operators who take you, everything. I was just waiting for 7 a.m. in the morning that I call my mother and I ask her that will she accompany me. Like my mother, I wouldn't say that she's very religious. She is, but she has traveled to almost all the spiritual places possible. So she is the only person that came to my mind. I called her in the morning. That time she was suffering from knee pain, very acute one. So she was like, I won't be able to, travel. There are mountains and a lot of traveling involved, and I won't be able to sit and walk for long. So that option went away. And I didn't had anyone in my circle whom I could call for a spiritual trip. And in fact, neither was I that person who would initiate a spiritual trip. If I would have called people like, let's go to Goa, I would have had people. But here, I had no one to, ask for. Then there's one person who came to my mind. Back then, she was not even my friend. She was just an acquaintance, okay? I will not take names on social media. So I called her. And she just said a yes. And I was like, okay. And the plan was made. In 15 days, I was in Adi Kailash, sitting in front of Baba. And I don't know, that moment changed every freaking thing in me. Like I remember, sitting there, just looking up. I won't even say that I was looking up at a mountain, because for me Adi Kailash is not a mountain. It was like Baba and Ma. I could actually see them. I won't go into a lot of details of that, because that is my spiritual and my meeting with Baba. That was my first meeting with him. But I remember sitting there. It was, and I don't remember anything beyond that. So all I remember was sitting there and staring at the peaks. And my fellow travelers, they later told me, you were like this person whose body was there and the soul had completely left. That is the first time that I had witnessed what you feel when the time stands still, your breath stands still, and there is no distinction between your spirit and your body. Everything just melted into one. I came back from there. People who were really close to me, my family and people around, used to tell me that, you have returned, but your soul hasn't. I also used to feel that, and I used to even feel and say to myself that it is momentary. I will come back to my usual self. But that never happened, and I'm really thankful that it never happened. That moment, Baba really held my hand, and from that moment onward, he is the one who is taking my path forward. After that, I did a lot of sadhanas. I'm still on a sadhana when we are talking. See, never judge a person by the way a person appears and dresses. I really feel that the most genuine people who've not left the, world, who've not renounced and left, you'll see them like this only. So did a lot of sadhana, got very inclined and learned a lot about Tantra also. We will discuss that. When I say Tantra, don't take me in any other sense. We'll discuss. That's the reason why I don't give loose words here and there. So yeah, that's been my journey, and trust me, ever since, there's nothing that feels incomplete. Even when I'm talking to you all, feel very complete. I really don't care who's going to see this video, who's going to react on this, why am I doing this. No, I was just told to do this. I'm doing this. If this inspires even one person, it'll be worth it. And the nectar that I've tasted, it's just a drop. I have a lot to go forward to, and maybe someday I'll taste it all. So yeah, that's been my journey. Now that's been my journey. Your journey could be similar, your journey may be different, but let it flow. All the basic funda of me telling you my story is, first heal yourself. Until and unless you heal yourself, you won't be able, even if the divine, even if the universe gives you signals, you won't be able to pick that up. Once you heal yourself, by whatever name you call, for me it's Mahadev, for you it may be something else or some other name, or you may even call it universe. Once you heal yourself, you will be shown the path. That is what I know, and that is what I make out of my story. So if you like it here, please join in. I will not give you any mantras or anything for making you a billionaire overnight or getting your ex back. Yes, I will give you a lot of techniques, a lot of rituals, a lot of things to connect you to yourself and get your energy to the maximum. So, Har Har Mahadev.